wanna be a superstar. You wanna drive fancy cars. Buy 2 houses in LA. Party all night and sleeping late. It's easy to do if you sell your soul to rap, pop, and country, to punk or rock and roll.
Alright, so I have 6 coats of clear on here now. And so what I'm going to do right now, it's pretty shiny. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start on the back here, and I've got some 600 grit and just a flat sanding block. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick go over. I'm not going to press very hard. So that was a 600 grit, and it's important to, you can see on here that the clear, the white that you can see on there is the clear coat, and you don't want the clear coat to build up on there, so you want to make sure you wipe off your sandpaper, and then you also want to wipe off the guitar because you don't want the dust on the guitar. So I'm going to do the sides now, and I don't want to use the straight edge on the sides, so I'm just going to go by hand. Alright, so now I'm going to wipe all that dust off. And I'm going to hit it with some, I'm going to do some wet sanding on it now. And I have an 800 grit sandpaper right here that I've had soaking in water for about an hour. I put too much soap in it, I think, because it's all foaming up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the section of the guitar wet a little bit. If you have like a water bottle, you can squirt it with a water bottle. I don't have a water bottle. So now I'm just going to continue the process. You don't have to push hard. And you can see the white that's on there. That's actually the clear coat. I'm still going to put some more coats of clear on it. So you notice I was sanding against the grain there. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I don't think we're going to see any scratches because later on this is 800 grit sandpaper. I'm going to go up to 1,000, then 1,500, then 2,000. But I'm going to put more clear on it first. The surface is pretty flat right now. Pretty flat. It's not totally flat. I actually can see I actually have a little run right here. So I think I might hit it with some of this 600. The dry paper up here where the run is. Just to try to rub that out. You don't want to spray more clear on top of a run. It was a little run. I didn't realize that was there actually. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I can actually see some of the scratches from going this direction, so we won't do that again. I did mix some soap in, like I said, and that's just sort of a lubricant to help it slide smoother across the surface of the guitar. I think I'm good on the front. You do want to make sure the untreated parts, you know, where the bridge pickup goes and where the neck pickup goes, you want to make sure water doesn't get in there, because if water gets in there, you know, untreated wood, it can expand a little bit. Once I finish, I'll probably get a little Q-tip and I'll stick it in all my little jewelry, and I'll just try to get as much of the water out as I can. I'm going to flip it over here and do a little bit on the back. Make sure it's nice and clean, there's no clear coat on there. And again, I'm not pushing very hard. You know, at this point, you just want to get all of the air part, the dust that's been in the air. If you're hanging the guitar up outside, there might be some bugs that sit on it. You know, in my case, I have 3 dogs. You know, a dog hair too could be on it. You know, and I'm not pushing down very hard because I'm only getting the top off of it. You know, and it's okay at this point that it's not a completely flat finish, because I'm going to spray it again, and as I spray it again, the lacquer is going to build up in the pores, and then I'm going to spray, and then I'm going to sand it, and I'm going to bring down the tops, and then I'm going to spray more lacquer on, and then I'm going to sand down the top, and at some point they'll meet in the middle, and there'll be a perfectly flat finish. So let me just wipe this off here. Now that shine that I had before I started is gone now. It's kind of dull. You know, there are still some shiny spots in it. You know, I can see all through the grain here where there's some shiny spots. And maybe it's because I should have done more filler before I started. I don't know. Maybe I should have used more sanding sealer. I put 4 coats of sanding sealer on it. And I have now, I think, 6 coats of clear on it. Alright, I don't think I want to go any more. Now I'm just going to hit the sides. And you can feel when the sandpaper, when the wood starts to get dry, because it starts sort of binding up a little bit. When you're sanding with the sanding block, you know, when you're sanding the surface, it's important to go. You never want to go. You want to come straight off the side of the instrument. You never want to go at an angle, because the lacquer on the edge here is so thin. If I went with this 800 grit, I could probably take all the finish off, and we don't want to do that. So at this point, you can see. I'm not sure if you can actually see, but you know, there's all this milky residue all over the guitar, and basically what that is, instead of it, you know, it's not dust from the wood, it's just particles of the clear that I have sanded off. You know, it still looks pretty shiny. You know, when you wet sand, you know, it's sort of like buffing it a little bit. I think it's good, so I'm going to let it, I'm going to wipe it off with my terry cloth. I'm going to let it totally dry, and then I think I'm going to, since I've had my fingers all over it, I'm going to hit it with a little naphtha. I'm going to let it dry for about an hour, and then I'm going to spray it with another coat of clear, and then I'm going to wait about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and then I'm going to hit it with another one, and then I will, tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll do the same process all over again. So you can see it's not quite as shiny as it was, you know, and it's coming along. It's pretty. It's got a pretty flat finish, but I've got a little bit of grain still that I've got to fill. So, and there were a couple spots on here. I don't know if you can see where when I just had the sanding sealer on it, I did sand a little too much on the edge. You have to be really careful when you sand on the edges because, you know, the clear is really, really thin, and I actually did sand through a little bit, and you can see some of the wood there. And it's my first guitar. I was rushing. I didn't go back. I did the same thing here and here. The pick guard's going to cover that, so that's no big deal. But along the edge here, you will be able to see it, unfortunately. But like I said, this is my first guitar. This is a learning process, and I'm having a good time.